Okay. Yeah. So as I was shuffling, sorry, I'm not like super awake yet. So as I was shuffling, I was getting this feeling that the divine masculine was kind of like a bit angry, but in a way that, like, if you were playing a sports, like in a sports competition, the person acted like your enemy during the game, and then at the end it's like, well played, you know. So I kind of feel like the divine masculine feels like he's been like he lost the game, and like that feeling that you're still like mad you lost, you know, but at the same time it's like they learned about all their limitations and skills during the process, and they are like handing it to you like for having been their teacher in a way that other people haven't been able to kind of be victor over him, over all of his like good and bullshitty kind of stuff that they deal out to people on the daily, you know. And they so yeah, so if they do approach you, it might be with like that kind of sting of anger, like it's like they're coming to you because at the end of the game, like you have to shake the hand of all your opponents to be a good sportsman. But you know, it's like there's still that like you know, that's present, that but then like that might be like the beginning bonding, the forging of a friendship, like that fire and the anger, and they can melt whatever was there before, like that was a structure there before, is now melted from that like fierce competition and the fire and like the defeat. So now the thing has taken a new shape, and they're not too happy about it, because it's like, oh, now I'm perceived this way instead of as the winner. And so you might get some tude from the masculine energy, but nonetheless, like there's a stepping forward and some communication happening. And while it might not be like how you prefer to be spoken to, nonetheless there's communication and an admission that there is like this interplay happening that can no longer be denied, and that the new structure has like the fire between the two of you has melted the old structure, and a new structure now stands before you for both of you to contend with moving forward. So in the crystal deck we have dioptase. Oops, oh my god. I was gonna redo my nails, but okay, I gotta like hide them because it's like up close. I'm sure like here it's like fine, but when I get like up in your face with my nails, it's not so cool. All right, so whatever. Dioptase. I am love, and love is me. That's pretty awesome. Wow. So get some of that dioptase vibe. I am love, and love is me. So that's the card to support you today. So call upon dioptase to help you remember that you are love and that love is you. All right, from my deck, I got the number 1 card. So it's like new beginnings and realizing like who is number 1. Like it's sort of like the Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, Ace of whatever. So it's not just a new beginning. It's like heaven sent. It's like an idea that forms like a realization. And I think in this case, it's like, oh, I know who my number 1 is now. Sorry, I'm laughing. I was anticipating the rest of the reading. Okay. So then we have from the Tarot of Sexual Magic, the King of Swords. I'm just gonna hold it back because I don't want to get all close with my hands there. All right, so according to these people, the King of Swords. I gotta cover up the drawing. I mean, nothing wrong with the human form, but it's before noon, so it's a bit early for that. Okay, King of Swords. Love is made of strength. True love is capable of going beyond strength. There are different kinds of strength. That's totally true. And I find that like unconditional love, like you think like, okay, this is my limit, and then you like surpass that limit and you're like, okay, this is my limit, and then you surpass that, and then it's like, all right, like truly this, like enough, like that, this is my limit, and then like you surpass it and you're like, like, I guess this love is endless. As much as ego, I mean, I don't know, I'm just gonna say this, but it's sort of like that woman in the behind the glass door. It's like ego's like knocking on the door saying like, hey, should like it's sort of the grandma-ish character. Oh, she's like a queen too. She's wearing a crown. Kind of saying like, you sure about this? But it's interesting. The depiction is like, like not like the drawing is nothing like the the book. Okay, wait. I'm just gonna read it one more time. Yeah, love is made of strength. True love is capable of going beyond strength. And what's interesting too is we got the strength card at the bottom of the deck for the Golden Tarot. I'm just gonna look at this for a second. Don't mind me. Yeah, I feel like when I look at this card, it's like the Divine Masculine sort of had other plans with someone that he thought would like make him look normal as a king, like a regular queen that like people would accept, like same age, like etc. Because there's an age difference between these two and the lady in the background, him. Not like major, but like whatever. Like in terms of the view of the public, like there's something like unusual, like different. Yeah, I don't want to like go too far with that, but so appearances, like it may not be the coupling that like by appearances, like the general public or the kingdom that this masculine rules over, like would accept maybe as readily, or maybe there was someone already. Yeah, maybe this is it. Like he was already seeing someone that everyone knew about, But meanwhile, back at the ranch, like he's really exploring and drawn to his love for someone else, and it puts him in a peaceful zone and like a meditative space, and it makes him feel like very like fertile and content, and like it's meaningful. Meanwhile, this woman in the background is like, what? Like, I thought I was your queen. And it's like this, and according to the book, it's like this love is stronger than he thought it was going to be. He thought it was just like another person, like another feminine energy to like throw into the buffet of his life, but actually it's very profound. And it's profound, and it doesn't look like, and it's disrupting the status quo, and it's a lot stronger than he anticipated, because he's like realizing who's number one, and that he actually can love instead of just being like grabbing, like being more of king vibe, where it's like having control over everything and people and whatever stuff, like status and that kind of vibe. All right. And also what's interesting is we do have the representation of the divine couple together. We have the emperor and the empress showing up in this reading together. This is good. So, okay. So what came with the Empress card was the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. Sorry, I'm just gonna like, I mean, fighting lots of different energies, cultivating something over a long period of time with patience and quick communication. I'm just gonna go with like, these are the energies of the divine feminine, where she's been communicating a fair bit. She's been like slowly cultivating this relationship, and it's been a battle with various other people trying to get at like what was she's divinely guided to proceed forward towards. And it's like in that kind of Lord of the Rings quest, like that she's run into people trying to stop her, but it's kind of like, because she knows she's cultivating something over a long period of time, it's like it's just part of the deal, and she's cool with that, and she's allowing communication about it, and sitting in her power. And on the Divine Masculine's little grouping, we have the Two of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and Temperance. So I'll let you see the Emperor. Oops. Yeah, check him out. Taurus energy. Is that Taurus or Aries? I'm super bad at like. Certainly looks like if that's not a Ram. But then there's like Aries. It's like Taurus and Aries are like neighbors, and they both have like kind of Ram type things. I'm gonna look it up just because I'm asking myself that. All right, I will. I'm not just gonna be silent here. But I gotta hide my hand and show it to you. Okay. Beneath the emperor's left foot is a bee, the alchemical equivalent of the ram. The two wild Himalayan ram's heads, one at the upper left and the other at center right, relate to the sign of Aries. Okay. The eagle and the flag combine to suggest a conqueror and the idea of authority. Supernatural powers are suggested at the top of the card by the celestial bodies that personify power, and also sudden, random, and violent activity. The orb surmounted by a Greek cross at the lower left signifies that energy has reached a successful end and that government and or governmental rule has been firmly established. Meanings are war, conquest, victory, strife, worldly power, ambition. All right, well, that solves that. It's a sign of Aries. Sorry, I just like to honor the fact that every deck is like different from each other, even though they're technically like the same cards, but they were made and created with a different energy. So just like having a look. They always put this kind of like Wi-Fi signal in some of these cards, like here. Okay. I mean, when I look at this card, I see the king like has been doing kind of random, interacting with like random people on the internet and creating like tiny bubbles of activity with them. And just one second. Okay. Sorry, today's like parent teacher day, so I didn't know if it was about a meeting. Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah, I feel like the divine masculine has like left his throne, so to speak, left his like mentally, he's like left the notion of staying put, like where he's living or what what the personality construct he's been working with, and he left behind his cape, and he's kind of, I feel like he's just like he's holding on to the horn there, like taking the bull by the horns, literally, and he's like holding on to what looks like a giant flower and creating like a signal with it. So I feel like he's really connecting more with his intuition and nature and his internal power, and he's like walking away from the past and all the people, all the like little mini relationships he may have started up or that could have gone down into this like black hole of like a lifetime of many relationships. He's like leaving, turning away from that and moving forward in his power, leaving behind, like he might even like have some kind of feeling of like losing something he built, or as he's moving forward passionately. That's kind of nice. And balancing the energies within himself in order to do this, or like that's been achieved so that he can move forward now, because like spirit has inspired him to come forward with the truth. And Two of Swords is like the intersection of like two different communications and like decision making. But sometimes when you look at the Two of Swords, it's like, someone's blindfolded and making a judgment there, and blocking things off. But in this depiction with the rose emerging from the connection of the two swords, it's sort of like, I feel that if the divine masculine hadn't had this karmic situation intersecting with the feminine, he wouldn't have had this insight and this like life-giving rose of passion that like moves him forward to conquer the situation. So yeah, because he's like conscious now that like this is the true, more important relationship, even though it's not like what everybody thinks he's doing with this queen that's like been around for a while. Because he knows who his number one is, and he realizes like, oh, I am loving. I'm not just like a narcissist or what, whatever. However, the masculine energy has been presenting. But maybe narcissist is going too far. I just mean, like, especially in this card, I feel like he was like consumed with power and control, and only considering like, okay, this is my life, I'm with this person, and that's what she thought. But it's like, oh, actually I fell in love, and like it's changing my whole kingdom. And she's talking to me, she's sending messages, and I know she's been building this, and I know she's been fighting off a lot of adversarial energy. At the same time, she's super chill and like, I'm here, like, you know who I am. Okay, and then we have the Mother Peace deck. We have the 10 of Pentacles, the Priestess of Swords, and the Crone. So I'm just gonna have a look at these definitions. Are like super short, so it won't take forever. All right. There comes a time when one must turn within to the source of wisdom and strength, which the crone represents. She is Hecate, the sage, the hermit, and the old wise one who, in silence and humility, learns the secrets of the universe and lights the way for others. So it's the same as like the hermit card in most decks. Yeah, I just feel like, oh, it's so pretty that, like this character up here, so pretty. And I kind of feel like through this insight, like she might have the could be both masculine and feminine, but they might have felt kind of gross, like in like just physically, like in themselves, in their bodies, or like they've had this like the spirit has touched them and they've seen the beauty of like what love can be, and they see also that like this doll kind of character is like the kind of mask that the masculine has been wearing, and the awareness of like how fruitless it is to like present yourself in a false manner, uh, and instead of being like this like amazing fully integrated part of the universe and beauty and love and everything. So this sort of seeing the two um extremes, and just the awareness that those two extremes exist, and that there's this opportunity to have everything, to feel completely fulfilled. But I feel like when I look at this card, it's also like, because there's the community that's assembled. I feel like there's going to be like telling the community that this relationship is on now, and people are going to have to like take it in, and they're going to all like kind of calmly reflect their views. Like everybody has their family shield, they're kind of about the situation, but in the end it's just people holding their values up. Life goes on. You have to make your choices that are good for you. And the Priestess of Swords is also part of this grouping. Sending out prayers and plans, strong sight. Okay, so there was like not just an illumination, but like a prayers to manifest this complete fulfillment. So there was a period of time when you felt kind of isolated and you had this insight, and then you decided to be optimistic even though it was the middle of winter and didn't seem like anything was going to grow or whatever, but you sent out this wish to have this complete fulfillment and like positive relationship that is visible in the community. So when I look at everything together, I mean, clearly the couple is present together in reality, each with their own energies that they've been dealing with. And there's an acknowledgement that this is the right relationship. There's been insight, balancing, manifesting, an awareness that it's going to be completely fulfilling, an awareness that you are capable of love, you're made of love, and that yes, like this has been, I thought I was with this person, but like actually I'm truly in love with someone else that may be surprising to the community, but there you go. And yeah. So there's a certain amount of, accepting that you had a different, I really don't like using the word journey. I really don't like it when people are like, good luck on your journey. It's like, in a way, the word, that concept connotes time passage. And I think like to truly max out spiritually, you have to live in the divine moment that is timeless. So maybe that's partly why I don't like. So if you ever meet me, don't say like "good luck on your journey," unless you want me to roll my eyes. But unless you're talking about like, unless I'm doing a Journey cover band and I have to do a good job copying the songs of Journey, that would be the only time that's acceptable. And yeah, anyway, so today it's important to stay grounded in the fact that you are love, and that like, yes, this is on this realization, the divine couple, like it's all, the awareness is here, and yes, you two are different, but it's on, and I like, and like I said at the beginning, it's like the feeling is like, well played, the strength that you had through all these trials has proven that this relationship is real and undeniable and stronger than anything, and stronger than like what might have been tradition to you, your family and friends, like in the past. And there it is, and it's like, now it's time to like bring it out in the open, because it's positive news. It's like yellow, sunny background. Like it's good news. It, came about from feeling like totally isolated and having to have this, in the isolation, having to have this spiritual, whatever, aha moment where you see like how stupid it is to wear a mask in life when you could be just like off the hook, like every energy of the universe at once, accepting your truth. So while it might not have been fun intersecting these energies of different people, it did bring about this rose of understanding. So now these two can come together. They're strong. They know what's up. And that is your reading for today. Have a good day. I apologize for not doing it every single day, but like I have responsibilities towards others that take precedence. That's why.